Hi everyone! In this video we will set up the PYNQ-Z2 to work with Jupyter Notebook. And at the end we'll test that everything works correctly. And the LED on the board lights up when the switch is flipped from position 0 to position 1. I'll try to explain everything as simply as possible and without unnecessary theory, so you can get results quickly. Why do we even need this? Jupyter is a fast and convenient way to get started with the PYNQ-Z2 without a complex development environment. You work right in your browser, see the results instantly, and can easily share your project. The whole process takes place in Python, and it looks like simple work with a library. This approach is great for learning, lab work, quick prototypes, and checking that the board and peripherals are functioning properly. So, what will be in this video? First, preparation. We'll go over the list of what we'll need. Second, connection and running on the board. Third, test. We'll check that everything works as it should. Alright, let's get started. Preparation. What we need to do is very similar to booting a system from a flash drive. You have probably heard of live CD or live USB. Basically, we need to do the same thing. Write a system image to a flash drive and boot the board from it. And for that we'll need the board, power cable. I'm using a regular USB cable. You can use a separate power adapter. But make sure its voltage and current match the device's specifications. Also don't forget to set the power source jumper on the board correctly. We'll talk about that a bit later. Ethernet cable, RJ45. Micro SD storage with at least 8 GB capacity. That's what we'll start the preparation with. We need to install the boot image. To do that, we'll go to the official PYNQ website from AMD and download the latest image. In my case, it's version 3.11. Great! While the image is downloading, we can install a utility to write the image to the flash drive. That's Win32 Disk Imager. We'll go to the program's website and download the appropriate version. Installation is standard. I think you'll handle it easily. So let's launch the installed program. Here's what it looks like. Here you need to specify the path to the image file and select the letter assigned by the system to the micro SD drive. I pre-formatted the drive in FAT32 mode with standard settings. All that's left is to click the Start button. If something doesn't work or you have difficulties, you can use the board as a regular one, without Python or Jupyter Notebook. In this video I explain how to do that. Great, the write process completed successfully. And now we can move on to the next step. Connection and startup on the board. First, we must correctly set the jumpers. Specifically, booting from micro SD card and powering via USB. Just place the jumper in the correct position. Everything is labeled on the board. Initially after purchase, these jumpers are already set in the correct position on the board. Next, insert our card with the image into the slot. Connect the network cable. The other end should be plugged either into a router or directly into a computer. I use a router because it's easier to configure. But if you don't have that option, there will be a link in the description with instructions for direct connection setup. If necessary, I can also make a separate video for this. Write in the comments and we'll go over how to connect everything properly. Next, Connect the power cable. Great, we are ready. Start the board. Now we need to wait about 2 to 5 minutes. The board will initialize, and its LEDs will light up, indicating that the image has launched correctly. This is what it looks like. Great, we can launch Jupyter Notebook in the browser. These browsers will work for us. We just need to open this address. Or you can simply enter the IP address assigned by the router to our board. For example, 192.168.0.246 and the port 9090. In any case, you'll see a page asking you to enter a password. The password here is always Xilinx. Enter the password and you'll be on the main page. Great, now you can work on your projects. Now we'll check that everything works correctly. Running a test project. Click the Upload button and select a file from the GitHub repository. The link will be in the description. The file content is very simple. We initialize the board peripherals, access the switches and LEDs, and then just connect them. If switch 0 is in position 1, turn on the LED, and vice versa. If switch 0 is 0, turn off the LED. All you need to do is simply press the Run button. Give the board some time to think. The LEDs turned off, meaning the board is ready. Well then, let's check. I flip switch 0 to position 1. Great, the LED lights up. Today we learned how to set up the PYNQ-Z2 to work with Jupyter Notebook. And we tested the board with a simple example. If something is still unclear, don't hesitate to ask questions in the comments. Also write which topics you're interested in for future videos. If the video was helpful, you can support me with a like or a comment. All links and materials can be found in the description. Thanks for watching and see you next time.